Oh, hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I was gonna say I don't even know why I got on here, but I just wanted to come on and say hi, give you guys a little update of what's happening, what's going on. Yeah, that's why I got on here. And just to check in, let you know I'm home. All right. We can just have a little chit chat, little talk, little things like that. Um, So today is the Gemini new moon where I am in Louisiana. I do believe it is around 10 p.m. Central Time where the new moon is not full. I mean, because it's a new moon, completely new, I guess. How do you say that? Um this new moon for Aries is going to be centered around themes of the third house. It could be siblings, it could be um education, themes of things of that nature. Hi, hello. um for me particularly, this new moon, I have my natal moon is in Gemini. My natal moon is in Gemini, and it is in the 12th house. So the 12th house themes are all about the subconscious mind, things that are hidden, subconscious programming, my psychic ability, intuition, insights. The 12th house can also have to do with hidden enemies, things that are being done behind the scenes, for my good or for not for my good, right? It could be both, right? And it also could be past life, things that come over from a past life, maybe that I've done in a past life. Maybe I was psychic in a past life, maybe I was intuitive in the past life, things like that. Congratulations, healed Aries. So when this new moon started activating for me, because it has everything to do with my psyche, my subconscious mind, my intuitive gifts, my mind, period, my mind, it literally it's like all the degree, I forgot the degree of the new moon, but it's almost like exact on my natal moon. So it affected me like so much, to the point where the download that I got was to just shut down. Like, and not shut down like, you know, not do anything, but shut down from the outside world so that I could have communication with the inside world. So much. So, and that's why I just had to put everything on pause. I had to listen to that. I had to do that. And literally go back to where I would say where my ancestors are, where I go back generations, is New Roads, Louisiana. I always go there because that is my safe place. That is where I go visit the graveyards. That's where I go visit my family. That's just where I feel safe. It's a beautiful place. If you ever guys come to Louisiana, it's called False River, New Roads. And so I felt so incredibly safe there this weekend, and I always do. And because I just needed to process so much. The thing about um, oh, I have family in BR too. I have family in what do they call it? Red Sticks or whatever. I have family over there. That's where my dad lives. But so that's where, and I actually did stop in BR on the way home, but that's what I had to do this weekend. So any of you, this is why I always urge to check your birth chart as well. And this is, I'm rambling. This is my Gemini moon. I talk a lot. It's like, but I tell you, it is so activated right now. It's hard for me to keep a straight thought, straight mind, straight sentence. So that is what I had to do. I had to unload. When I tell you, if you guys saw my post, overstimulated. And when you're intuitive, you're psychic, you're tapping into other people's energy, like I am, and to that point where yes, I want to help people, but then it doesn't leave any energy for myself. It doesn't leave any room for me to. What happens is, what I've noticed, and this actually happened this morning, I had to reschedule a reading from Friday, and I had to wake up early, and I don't like to do that, but I'm actually happy that I did it, and I had to wake up early because the client was in Shanghai, China. That was one of my clients. She was in China. So we were all the way across the world. But what happens is that I got a lot out of her reading for me, because my spirit guides will like literally give me messages through somebody else's reading, but they're telling me also that, we need your full undivided attention. And so shout out to the young lady, I don't want to say her name, who I did the reading for today, but her reading was just as healing. I got so many downloads. I could say that I got so many downloads through her reading. The things that I was telling her, they were conveying to me. And that's just how it works. If a message has to get to me, it has to get to me if I'm not spending any time in solitude to get the messages myself. But it was interesting. It was beautiful. And it made me think, because I was like, I had to share this with the collective. Maybe she might pop up. If you pop up, you say hi, you know who you are, but I'm never going to disclose anybody who it is or anything like that. But, obviously you do readings with me to help you figure situations out. And what I thought was so beautiful about her reading today is that usually they are confirmation readings. You usually know what you need to know already. We're all intuitive. And it was just that. But I thought it was so refreshing that once I gave her the clarity that she needed and the answer that she needed, she was like, one, which everybody says, I knew that, right? I knew I needed to do that. I felt that. And she's like, okay, now I'm going to execute that. I'm going to do that. And I know that might sound surprising, but as a tarot reader, it is not the norm that I find that people are saying, you know what, this is what I need to do, and I'm going to do it. Because a lot of my clients, and no, it's no shade at anybody, because this is why I'm moving to more of a teaching than to just keep doing readings, is that I'll be doing readings for the same people over and over and over again, or years and years and years to come. And they're asking the same questions. And so as someone who is here to help you expand your consciousness, find your voice, and tap into your own intuition, okay, it kind of, I don't know how to put it, it makes me sad because you stay in a loop, okay? When you get the answer, and this is kind of what this Gemini new moon is about, executing the thing that you are being told to do, okay? And I've already recorded the new moon and Gemini reading. It's going to play right after this. That's what this new moon is helping you do. If there's a course that you're supposed to be putting off to start it. If there's something new that you're supposed to be learning, do it. If you're supposed to be starting a podcast, do it. If you're supposed to be leaving and breaking up with someone, do it. You understand? That's what this Gemini new moon is about. It's like giving you the clarity that you need to start a new path. But the problem is that people get stuck in a loop of asking questions. And you are asking so many questions that you're not even doing what you're told to do. And therefore, you find yourself in a few months still in the same place that you were when you first started asking questions. And you're like, but what do I do? You haven't done anything. You understand? You haven't done anything. You haven't done anything. You haven't listened to your own. I'm not talking about listening to me. I'm talking about listening to your own intuition. The thing that has been telling you and nagging you to do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and you haven't done it. Right? And trust me, I'm just as guilty of it too. But the thing is with me is my spirit guides are telling me to do is to declutter. I have to, in this season of my life, I have to declutter other people's energy, right? And this is why I told you guys that I was going to be taking a break this summer to not be doing readings. And I had a conversation with my spirit guides this morning too, with my pendulum. This is my other pendulum here, through tarot, through my own readings, because I like to do. This is another thing. In the morning is my time. I don't want to be answering questions in the morning. I don't like that's my time to speak to my ancestors and get clarity on what I need to be doing. So I'm not running ragged. Okay. Is why I wanted to sleep in yesterday as well, because I knew I had to wake up early today to do an international reading. That's kind of why I went on that rant yesterday in my community page, because I was woken up so many times. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? And just FYI, the chat, the tarot, my text, my number is only for readings. Okay. So if you have a question, email me. That's it. I'm gonna go through my email. That's it. That's tarot text chat hotline. That's where you ask your questions for your readings, and I will get to that. But my spirit guides have been telling me, I have to, especially being a Gemini moon, because I take on so much energy behind the scenes, not just a Gemini moon, but the Gemini moon in the 12th house. I take on so many energy behind the scenes. I have to have that clarity, that time, that space for myself to think, to be in isolation. It's the 12th house. I have to be alone. I have to be in my own. That doesn't mean just physically alone. I have to be in my own thoughts, my own psyche, my own subconscious. And it's very, very hard to do. Even if I'm just doing one reading a day, I still have to cleanse that reading off from that person and that energy. And then I got to rest, because it's almost like running. It's almost like doing a spiritual reading is almost like exercising, which is why I exercise, to keep my energy up, to keep my energy elevated. So it's not like, I know some people really don't understand that. Like, it's like just thinking I'm printing a t-shirt or selling a product. I'm literally tapping into your energy. It's spiritual work is not easy. This is why some people can get crossed or hexed or cursed or whatever, get themselves, all kinds of entangled up, because they're not cleansing. They're not doing that spiritual work for themselves. But the thing that I'm really trying to convey is, and I got off track, but the thing I'm really trying to convey is, through this new moon, find the thing that you has been calling to you to do, to execute, to learn, to write, because that's the Gemini energy as well, and start doing it. Start listening to yourself. I see all comments. I don't, money takes you. I know that you probably won't see my comment. Take your cat to the vet. Take your cat to the vet. That's what you need to do. Take him to the vet. You'll be surprised what happens. Okay. I had to take my dogs to the vet twice the other day, and they gave me a huge discount. This is what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just have to action. Just do it. Just do it. They sit so long trying to figure out the how and the what and the this. Sometimes we just got to do it. You never know what is going to unfold for you when you put one foot in front of the other, when you speak positivity over yourself. That's one thing that happened too with one of my clients. They said, well, I know this is my path, but I know this is going to be hard. Boom. You just cast a spell over yourself. You understand? You just cast a spell over yourself. I know that I want to do this thing, but this is, it's going to be so difficult. And I got this and this and this and this and this and this. Boom. You just put all those problems in front of you. When you literally could say, I'm going to take my cat to the vet, and they're probably about to give me the best deal that I can get. They're going to help me. The other day when I took Bruno to the vet, they needed some medicine. Bruno had eczema. Pugsley had acne. He got teenage acne. Pugsley's birthday is tomorrow, by the way. He's my Gemini. You know what the doctor did? He just started dropping medication in my purse. He knew my vet bill was going to be kind of high. He just started dropping the medication that I needed for my dogs and put it in my purse. And I was like, whoa, what a blessing. And that's probably because of the way that I think. Everything always works out for me. That is my vibrational set point. That is my vibrational set point. So everything that you're doing right now, Heavenly Antoine Grace, is exactly what I'm explaining. I don't have money. I don't have this. I don't have that. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm just going to say the same thing. It's a great example. Maybe you're coming up in the chat and spamming the chat for a teachable moment, but you have to change the way that you're thinking. You have to change what you're saying. You have to just do, and have the other thing too that we talked about this morning is faith. It's faith. Okay. We have all of these things in plan for us. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to execute. I know this, and that. Now the gasoline in the car, the gasoline that you're putting in your vehicle is faith. And that's why a lot of people don't see things happen. That's what a lot of people, where you think you're stuck or you're blocked, It's the lack of faith. It's the lack of faith that this thing is going to get done, or I just could never see any way of this happening. You have no faith. You have no faith. And I don't care what religion you are in, faith is a requirement. Okay. I don't care what you believe, what your spiritual practice is. Faith is a requirement to believe in the unseen. I mean, what are you here for? You know, why it's in my readings. You obviously have something where you believe that there is some sort of higher power. You believe that there is something behind the scenes. You believe that there's something right here, right now. You know, one of my spirit guides that we cannot see that is whispering in my ears and telling me everything I need to hear. I know it. I just had a conversation the other day with my mother on the couch. She spoke to me through, I told you guys that, through this pendulum. And I told her to tell me that it's her. And all of a sudden, I just started feeling this whooshing air on just one side of me. I could feel it running up and down, up and down, up and down my arm. On the other side was completely warm. And so she was literally letting me know I'm right here. And I asked, I said, Mom, are you on the left of me? More. It just kept going intensely. And so I said, okay, here she is. That's faith. You know, so your faith literally activates communication to the spirit realm. It activates your communication to the spirit realm. It activates things starting to move and happen for you. It says, I feel like my intuition is blocked. It is. It is. It is. There it is. I feel like my intuition is blocked. It is. That is it. It won't get unblocked until you say, you know what, my intuition is not blocked. Anytime you start a sentence like that, it is. Nothing blocks your intuition except yourself and your belief that that it is. That's it. And you can try to make it more difficult for yourself if you want to, and that's probably your path that'll lead you to getting out of it. Sometimes we have to make, because we're so stubborn, we have to make our path more difficult and more difficult and more difficult and more difficult just for us to get it. We don't have to hit rock bottom. We believe we have to hit rock bottom for us to start going up, but that makes it so. You guys have to understand that. You have to understand that. This is what people talk about when they say you create your own reality. There'll be some people that say, oh no, you come here and you're just destined to do this and you're just destined to do that. But I promise you, you can change your circumstances by your word. This is why we're giving spoken words on while we're here on this earth to speak. That is what spells are, or to speak. You know, I'll teach you some things. I'm going to teach you some things because I think that you can also elevate, or let's say this, speed up certain things through different elements of the earth, which is why they're given, I feel like, fire signs, fire. Maybe you're more connected to earth, to dirt, to herbs, to air, incense. But it's all activated through your spoken word. Even if you burn a candle, I'm about to show you guys on Patreon and the Patreon's coming up today. Finally getting some time to do it. I'm about to show you guys the Patreon, the way I do my cord cutting ritual. But even when I was teaching somebody the other day on the phone, it's still spoken word. It is still the belief that your word is powerful. That's the first thing. I started seeing that my words were powerful. And it's like every time I do anything with candle magic or spell or anything, it gets more powerful. My spells speed up because, you know why? Now I've seen my power in action. So I believe that I'm powerful. I get more powerful. The moment you start to say, it's not working, it doesn't work for me, it doesn't. It's that simple. It doesn't. It won't. You know, this is a pendulum right here. It's that simple. It's that simple. And we try to make things so extremely complicated from ourselves. And this is why I always say, again, look into your birth chart, because there may be something to where you are wired like that. Maybe it's from a past life. Maybe that is a lesson that you have to learn how to overcome in this life, to break some sort of mold from a past life where your mind is stuck or wired to just believe this thing, right? Get to know yourself. That is what your birth chart is, getting to know yourself. That is so true. I'm on day 15 of 21-day gratitude challenge, and my thoughts are completely opposite of when I started, and so many blessings are coming in unexpectedly. What does it say? It definitely works. It does work because that's another thing. That's another activation of this new moon, subconscious, your subconscious work right now. Um, Creator weights our muscle, co-create. Exactly. We can continue to, because we all have subconscious wiring. We all do from birth, especially it could be a lot different from wherever you grew up, your world, your country, wherever. We all have that. But now you're being shown and given the tools to undo that, to change that in this lifetime where we're at right now. But yeah, and that's just kind of what I want to talk about, just to activate this so you can activate this new moon for yourself. So you can activate it. You literally today is all about spoken word and you activating the next chapter in your life, what you want to see. Even if you feel like or know that something difficult is coming up in your life, right? Like maybe death or somebody passing or crossing over, you can start speaking right now into existence. I know that this is only going to be for my highest good. I know that my spirit guides are going to be here for me to help me get through this. I know that my loved one is going to send me a sign and show me that they're okay. All of these things, You see how I just did that? It's spoken word. That's all you have to do. 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 But you have to speak it. You have to put one foot in front of the other. And I hope that works out for you. Is it heavenly? But I'm telling you, you just don't know. And I mean, we're all human. We all have fear-based thoughts, but combat that. Combat that with the power of your tongue. Combat that. Okay. So yeah, so let me get to work. Also, what I wanted to say is that I'm clearing out my schedule, everything today and tomorrow. The tarot text chat hotline is going to take a break for a while. So anybody who, I already spoke to the people over the weekend because I needed a break over the weekend. Those are getting answered today. But if you have a question, I would enter it. I would submit it today because I'm clearing that out. Thursday, I'm fasting. And so I probably won't even post unless I record something before then, and just kind of so I can detox my system spiritually. And that means just getting out anybody other junk and clutter. And so if there's something that, because I'm human, if I forgot anything, bump your email to the top. I've noticed that I had to go through so many emails yesterday because of the Google Voice. Anytime somebody texts Google Voice, they send me an email. Maybe there's some way I can turn that off. There's probably somewhere, but I didn't. So if you've been emailing me, if all of the tarot text, I can't say that 3 times fast. All of the text message questions that I'm getting through my email, those are coming to the top. Okay. And so if you just emailed me about something, it's going to the bottom. They're getting buried by those. Okay. They're getting buried by those. So bump that up, because after Wednesday, there's not going to be any client work for a while. There will be client work, but it'll be in Patreon. And that'll be my way of helping anybody who needs help, who has any questions, spiritual questions, spell work questions. We'll do readings over there as well. But as far as through my phone and through email, anything like that on the phone, there's a break, because that's just per my spirit guides, which I've already been told. But I need a break in June to focus. All right. Yes, there will. Trust me, I'm going to come on live when the Patreon is live. I will come on live here and tell you guys. I promise you. I'm not just going to put it up. I'll come on and live and tell you it's activated. I'll put it in the community tab. I'll tell you in the video. I promise you. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, hey, Allie, I know I saw your question come in. If you have any questions, I got y'all. To that, I'm gonna be answering questions today until tonight. We're going golfing, putt golfing, but after that, after Wednesday, that is it. All right. So I will talk to you guys later. And the new moon in Gemini reading is about to play. All right. You guys have a good day. Set your intentions. Speak your intentions. All right. Take care.